Right, and let's see if anyone can hear the audio now. I don't know. Right, I've done that. And audio input as well. So actually, if I take this out, because this, and then I'll put this one up. How about now? Hey, excellent. Well, at least I didn't have to reset the whole thing. I'm doing this through OBS as well, so Will has actually done a lot of the sorting out on the other channel, and I thought I'd just give it a go on this one, just to, well, see if anyone be interested in watching me make an idiot of myself as I record, really. Right. Well, what I have got, as you can see here, these are the amendments that I need to make on the book that I have so far. They're not really massive things to do. I've just got to find the time on each chapter, and then make those entries as and when they come up, really. But I've also got a couple of jobs this evening that I'm going to sort out, so I thought I'll bring you along on the journey for them. So right, let's have a look. This first one here, Keyman J. Let's have a look, see what he wants. I've also got this one from Mr. Richard as well. What is it? appinvest.net. Just need to add to the end of the recording that you have done for us, appinvest.net at 2:14. I thought I did that, unless I've cut that off. Right, let's have a wee look. Oh, and any... There we go. Yeah, my desktop is a bit of a mess at the moment, so apologies for that. Let me know what you think of the setup as well, like just the where my head is in relation to the rest of the screen and stuff like that. If it needs any changing and tweaks and stuff like that. I mean, if it's cool, if we do get some sort of motion going, I might put some games on. If my laptop doesn't die on me. Right, so yes, this is also my work laptop as well, so sorry everyone. Oh, people per hour. And Richard. Ah, yes, because I synced, didn't I? Ow. Bum. Right, let's do without. With music, because, you know, I'm an idiot and I chose the wrong one. Right, there we go. Bit echoey on this one. I think I was a bit loud. LATTE. Right, and appinvest.net. I've got to, with these sort of things, it's a bit more difficult because I've got to then try and match the output or the volume, which is here. So let's have a look, see what I can do. Right, put monitor on. Yeah, there is, as you can see here. Oh, there we go. You can there was a car going past, and I don't know if you could hear it, but it's very apparent when you turn it up. So I'll try and get it out anyway. Right, appinvest.net. That should be it. Blinding. Right, so if I copy, doesn't really need when I normally record, it's just in mono, because as a voiceover it's just coming both sides at the same time, unless you're trying to do something more cinematic storytelling, that sort of thing, where you want someone on this side having a chat with someone on this side. But something like this, we just want it flat on, so it just makes a smaller file size, really. So as we can see here, in comparison to this is a little bit louder. So I've got my hotkeys in, so I'll do some compression. It's made it a little bit louder, but it's what compression does. It brings the high peaks and the low peaks a bit closer together. So instead of squashing it all down or bringing it all up, it just makes it a bit more balanced. And then normalize, which, oops, no, which does a similar thing, but just tries to keep all the high peaks at maximum 3 decibels. And then, as you can see here, these little lines, I mean, I'm not going to be using them, but I don't know if you can hear that, but you can. It's sort of like a background sound, and that's a great thing with Audacity. And I'm learning Audition at the same time, but it's these jobs that I know how to do. I know Audacity so much that I can just do these quickly. So a bigger job, I'll maybe on the next job I'll start doing Audacity a whole lot more. But right, so what we'll do is we'll just get that taken out now. Trim off the edges here and here. Move this up a little bit, and then oh, well, one, I had this track still live, but two, if you looked when I was recording this, this track here, what was already there, was at 15, and then when we went into this bit, straight up to -6. So if I bring this down a little bit, maybe 5, let's do that, and then there we go. So it's between the 15 and 9 mark, but because it's the tagline, we'll keep that, and then I'll see how Richard likes that. So right, there you go. You might have heard a car go past then. It's a lot of sound treatment that I've I've put up in here, this little booth. This is in my garage, and you've just probably jumped around there, because there we go. Let's push you in a bit, so I'm not pulling down stuff. Amend. There we go. So that is the first job for Richard. So, hi Richard. Please find attached. Is this what you were looking for? Cheers. So personally, I know, and it's probably not a very good business model at all, but personally, if someone inquires for a job, I'm more than happy to do a sample for free for them, just a small amount of their script, just if they then know if I'm good for their role or not. They're not going to be wasting their money, and I want them to be happy with me. So it's a win-win situation then, really. Well, I'm still doing. Doesn't like WAV because it has to be MP3. But yeah, let me know what you think if I'm being stupid and I should actually stick a bit more rigorously. And I know Fiverr, people per hour, Voice Bunny, that all those sort of things, they're frowned upon. But I've only been doing this a year, so yeah, I've only been doing this a year, and I don't feel like I'm at a high enough quality yet, and I've not been hearing back from people. Right. Yep, that seems to be working all right. Yeah, I've not been hearing back from people to say it's good enough to actually go on to bigger things, really. So if I've been going on Reddit and other places like that, really, just to get my quality a bit better. And if you've been listening to my videos from the get-go, hopefully you would have noticed that there was a drastic improvement as well, especially since coming back. Right, so that has been done. Hopefully he likes that. And this guy right here. So your recordings, when you play them back, we can't hear them so well. Really interesting to watch you work there. Cheers, dude. Right, that might be then. Let's have a look. Mic auxiliary, video capture, desktop audio. If I put the desktop audio up a bit more, and I think I might have actually added a bit of an effect on that to make it sound like it was in his head, because that's what it was, a part of a what's it was part of an actual, like, a video, and he was just there flicking through his phone, just say what I was thinking, what I was saying, really. So hopefully you can hear that now. We will see. Right. VOB pensions. Have I got many people watching? I think it's just you, Adam. So I hope you're enjoying it, buddy. Kind of like the mic is picking up your headphone speakers. Still quiet, but kind of. God damn it. Well, I'm still working on this, so that might be it. Or if I need to put in another input and have that. No. Yes. So bear with me while I'm doing this as well, because I'm still working out how to actually which bits are which. Because I thought I put the desktop audio in there. I mean, the display capture. Well, that should just be the display, but right. Let's put. If I put this mic up, this will probably be the other microphone, which is integral to the laptop. Right, there you go. Hopefully that's. God damn it. Right, that's something that I need to look into a bit more then. Video capture, audio capture, desktop audio. What's this then? The microphone. It should just be the desktop, really. What about this one? Oh, hello, you beautiful person, you. Ugh. Right. Don't know if that's helped much, but let's have a look and see what's in this one as well. Yeah, so I need that one for the direct. It should be this one, which is really bugging me why it's... Yes, don't. Right, that might help it, actually. ETE. Appinvest.net. Right. Hey, there we go. Was that a lot louder then? Let's bring this down a bit then. So mine is still going over the top. Right, excellent. Right, so this one here, this was one that I got through earlier on, and this is normally on a Fiverr job, something like this, is what I'll go through, and you can see this is my normal process, as it were. So I'll set it up so it's nice and easy to read. Bring it down. Excellent. Oh. Sorry, I forgot to plug in my light and it's completely dead. So this thing here is my floodlight. It's normally behind the camera. It lights it up really well. But I think it's not too bad at the moment. I'm using the LEDs, which sort of it floods the top a little bit, but at the moment it doesn't really matter. This is just a beginning thing. So, right, let's get this one done properly. I might not be able to do all of the. Yeah, I'll save that as a WAF, so that's all good. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be doing much of the amendments tonight, so I'll try and get more of them done tomorrow, because I am wiped. Pensions and investments. Welcome to Palantir Financial Planning. What is a pension? In simple terms, a pension scheme is just a type of savings plan to help you. A pension scheme is just a type of savings plan. A pension scheme is just a type of savings plan to help you save money for later life. It also has favourable tax treatment compared to other forms of savings. A pension may be defined benefit plan where a fixed sum is paid regularly to a member based on employer contributions over the period of employment, taking into account the scheme accrual rate. If you have a defined benefit final salary pension scheme, a DB, this will provide a guaranteed income for life, which usually rises in line with inflation. Many DB schemes have spouses pensions attached to them, which can provide security for loved ones. which can provide security for loved ones. If the sponsoring employee of the DB scheme I did read this earlier on and I've just sort of wiped myself, so thank God for editing. Right. If the sponsoring employee of the DB scheme suffers any insolvency event, the pension may be protected by the Pension Protection Fund. Once the member and spouse dies, the pension will die also. If you would like to transfer your DB with safeguarded benefits to a scheme, safeguarded benefits to a scheme offering flexible benefits, this can be transferred by a pension transfer specialist regulated by the Financial Services Authority. The advisor must hold the correct permission under Part 4A of the Financial Services and Markets Act 2000. A defined contribution plan, DC, has a fund value at retirement. Under the Pension Schemes Act 2015, it permitted no limits on how much you can take from your drawdown fund each year. You can take a tax-free pension commencement lump sum. Don't normally make this many mistakes. They're not mistakes. They're happy little accidents. You can take a tax-free pension commencement lump sum of up to 25%. You can take a tax-free pension commencement lump sum of up to 25% of the pension fund at age 55, with the remaining withdrawals being taxed at your marginal rate. A major difference between a DB scheme is that if you die before the age of 75, the entire pension fund can be transferred to anyone you nominate as the beneficiary tax-free. This can be your wife, partner, children, grandchildren, etc. Under a DC arrangement, the pension never dies and can continue to be Oh, I'm not having a good one. And can continue to be transferred as long as there is a fund value. As the pension plan is usually set up under trust, there is no inheritance tax to pay on pension funds. Oh no, if you could hear that, that is the bane of my life at the moment. I need to get myself a door and do a double skin on these walls. So, still got some way to go, but I'm working around it. As the pension plan is usually set up under trust, there is no inheritance tax to pay on pension funds. At Palantir Financial Planning Limited, we have the relevant authorization and permissions to undertake a full health check of your existing and dormant pensions. We can construct a tailored report detailing the costs and benefits of your existing policy against the pros and cons of moving your pension. Taking into account all the costs and charges. Please contact us at Palantir Financial Planning Limited for a free, no-obligation consultation. Wow! 7 minutes. That one shouldn't have taken me that long. Ah! Right, yes. Oh, damn it. Yeah, that is the you can continue. That one really got me. Right. Yes. So yeah, what you might have heard was my clicks, and some people when they're recording, if they make a mistake, they'll clap, or on Audition you can press M and it will do a marker, and it will come up and put on the screen whereabouts your mistake was. But this is the easiest way I find for it. So for instance here, welcome to Palantir Financial. I made a mistake. So, and I know this. Yeah, as I say, I'm not sure if you can see my cursor, but this bit here looks exactly the same as this bit here. Well, so I know that if I take this out, welcome to Palantir Financial Planning, it makes it all the same. Bloody cars. And then this bit here, this is a breath, and it depends. Sometimes if they ask for it to be deep-breathed, I can take them out, and a lot of adverts like them taken out because they've got 30 seconds where they need as much speech as possible put in there. Others, to make it sound more natural, they like the breaths put in or reduced. So about 50-60% of the breaths put in. A pension scheme is so a pension but as you can see, a pension scheme is, there we go. So it's a smaller breath in there, but up until here it also looks the same. So a pension scheme is just a type of savings plan to help you save money for later life. It also has favourable tax treatment compared to other forms. There we go. So that's another breath, but it makes it sound like more natural, someone talking to you. I know this one I read, and it probably sounds a lot like I've read it as well, but to me it just sounds a little bit more natural if you leave a breath in every now and then instead of very robotic and automated. So let's have a look here. It also has favourable tax treatment. Yeah, so let's just take that out again. It also has favourable tax treatment compared to other forms of savings. A pension may be a defined benefit plan where a pension may be a defined benefit plan is paid where a fixed sum is paid regularly. So there, what we've got here is, you can see I've merged those two words together when speaking, where a fixed sum is paid regularly. So there's no definitive line in that bit, but if I just cut it just after, paid regularly to a member. Fixed sum is paid regularly to a member. It makes it a little bit more smooth, bringing it through. And yeah, if anyone else is watching, and I'm doing this way wrong, please tell me. I'm still a noob at this. I'm picking it up as I go along. I've done as many YouTube videos, I've done courses online as I can, but everyone's got their own way of and tips and tricks of doing stuff. So if you've got a way to make things easier, please tell me. Taking into account, and with the script as well, I'll normally read it 2 to 3 times before actually reading it or recording it. Tonight I did read it, but I was reading it on the way home from normal work, and the scheme I must have just, yeah, I I'm a bit sleep deprived at the moment. So I'm sticking to that reason.
If you have a defined benefit final salary pension scheme.
Right, let's take that one out. But once I take one out, sometimes
a DB, this will provide a.
That's not too bad a gap. Sometimes it makes it sound a bit too empty. So
this will provide.
Take about 20% out. 20 to 30% out is all right. Up to 50%. So, anything more than that, it just sounds a bit rushed.
Many DB schemes have spouses' pensions attached to them, which can provide security for loved ones.
This Audacity is also it's free, and for my use at the moment, just as a voiceover, and I find it quite good as well for doing multi-layering. I've done all my demos on here, and I can already hear people gasping and closing already, but I find it works pretty well if you get used to it. And after using Audition as well, it's very, very different to better known and actually more established sound editing or audio engineering software as well.
If the sponsoring employee of the DB scheme, I did read this earlier on. If the sponsoring
right.
If the sponsoring employee of the DB scheme suffers any insolvency event,
bugger. Right, I've missed this one. Right, let's see if I can do this.
Any insolvent DB schemes suffers any insolvent.
No, that's not quite right. But just bring it in just a bit. And just on that.
Any insolvency event schemes suffers any.
Oh, there's a pop. Right, let's have a wee look. There we go. So there's a little bit of a step there. So if I take that out.
Suffers any.
There we go. That sounds a little bit better now. Right.
Any insolvency event.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, you'll notice it now. If you do listen to more commercials and stuff on radio, you'll hear it's constant vocals, constant speech. Others, like if you more in on a YouTube video advert or a television advert, you'll hear there's a little bit more of a gap between words, and there's more of a natural tone. They still do a natural tone on radio, but you've got that designated 30 seconds, and because you've got no image to put with it, you've got to try and just give all this information just with yourself. So, right.
The pension may be protected by the Pension Protection Fund. Once the member and spouse dies,
these ones I don't like. I normally take these out because
the pension will die also.
It just sounds a bit too drawn out. Right.
Die also. If you would like,
let's take some of that gap out.
If you would like to transfer your DB with safeguarded benefits to a scheme, if you would like to transfer your DB with safeguarded benefits to a scheme offering flexible benefits, this can be transferred by.
Now you saw that big. That was a big breath there, and that's why I actually took that away because I think I was a bit too close to the mic with that.
This can be transferred by a pension transfer specialist.
Oh, and this here, mouth clicks and mouth noises. It's a sign that you do need to have a drink of water, really. You've got to stay quite hydrated. I mean, anyone who's listened to, Bill DeWeese, he's one. Peter Dixon as well. He's the guy who does. The everyone knows him from X Factor. But he's also he runs a company called Gravy for the Brain, which is teaches voiceover artists how to be voiceover artists, really. And all this is pretty much regurgitated from him. So everyone's like, "Oh, shut up! I already know this." But some people might not.
The advisor must hold the correct permission under Part 4A of the Financial Services.
Right, let's take that out.
4A of the Financial Services Commission under Part 4A of the Permission under Part 4A of the Financial Services and Markets Act 2000. A defined contribution plan, DC, has
Actually, I like that there.
a fund value at retirement. Under the Pension Schemes Act 2015, it permitted no limit.
Actually, I'm gonna do that and then take out a little bit in the middle.
It permitted no limits on how much. It permitted no limits on how much. It permitted no limits on how much you can take from. On how much you can take from your down. On how much you can take from your drawdown fund each year. You can take a tax-free pension commencement. You can take a tax-free pension commencement lump sum. You can take it.
Oh yes, this was my my fantastic tongue twister. That's what that was. What? Yeah.
You can take. They're not mistakes. They're happy little accidents. You can take a tax-free pension commencement. You can take a tax-free pension commencement lump. You can take a tax-free pension commencement lump sum of up to 25%. You can take it.
Yeah.
You can take a tax-free pension commencement lump sum of up to 25%. Up to 25% of the pension fund at age 55, with the at age 55 with the pension fund at age 55 with the at age 55 with the remaining withdrawals being taxed at your marginal rate. A major difference between a DB scheme is that if you die before the age of 75, the entire pension fund can be transferred to anyone you nominate as the benefit. Can be transferred.
Here we go. Yeah, I've done. It's becoming second wind now, and this is another reason why I don't want to. I don't want to. I do know how to use Audition, but I just know how to use Audacity so quickly that and I've got the hotkeys down. I've done my own hotkeys to make things a little bit faster for myself, and I just know that learning Audacity is going to be
as the benefit. Can be transferred.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit more time.
Transferred to anyone you nominate.
Right, so is it there?
Can be transferred to anyone you nominate as the beneficiary tax-free. As the benefit.
I think. Oh no, I did.
Beneficiary tax-free. As the beneficiary tax-free. The beneficiary tax-free. As the beneficiary as the beneficiary tax-free. This can be your wife, partner, grandchildren.
Yes, I don't really think that really belongs there.
This can be your wife, partner, children, grandchildren, etc. Under a DC arrangement, the pension never dies and can continue to be
there's another one. And can continue.
The pension never dies and can continue to be
Exactly, Sean. I'm being quite tame.
and can continue to be transferred as long as there is a fund dies and can continue
Ooh.
dies and
Right, I'm going to have to... This is going to be a bit of a weird one. I'm going to just take that out. And as I said before, we normally take about half. Well, it's advised to take about half, but if I take about 30%...
dies and can continue to be transferred as long as there is a fund value.
There you go.
As long as there is a fund value. As the pension plan is usually set up under
Yep, I thought so.
as the pension plan is usually set up under trust, there is no inheritance tax to pay on pension funds. There is no inheritance tax to pay on pension funds.
But, see, I kind of like that one, but the second one, I think I put it as a bit more...
There is no inheritance tax to pay on pension funds.
Emphasis, because that seems like a USP for the product. Oh, no.
Is the bane of my life.
Okay, yep, so that's me just describing how much I hate the cars going past. But
there is no inheritance.
There's other people that are YouTubers doing blacksmithing and all that, and then there's me just faffing around
There
on a
is no
computer.
inheritance. As the pension plan is usually set up under trust, there is no...
Okay, so I actually did go back.
As the pension plan is usually set up under trust. As the pension plan is usually set up under... As the pension plan is usually set...
I think this one actually sounds a bit better.
As the pension plan... As the...
So what I'll do is I'll take...
There is no inheritance tax. Pension plan is usually set up under trust. There is no inheritance tax to pay on pension funds.
There we go.
There is no inheritance tax to pay on pension funds. At Palantir Financial Planning Limited, we have the relevant authorization and permissions to undertake a full health check. To undertake a full health check of your existing and dormant pensions.
Whoops.
We can to undertake a full health check of your existing and dormant pensions. We can construct a tailored report detailing the costs and benefits of your existing policy against the pros and cons of moving your pension. Against the pros and cons of moving your pension, taking into account...
Well, I think if you heard it there... Oh no.
Pros and cons of moving your pension, taking into account all the costs and charges. All the costs and charges. Please contact charges and charges.
What's that then?
Costs.
Blimey. Right, all the costs.
All the costs and charges.
go.
Please contact us at Palantir Financial Planning Limited for a free, no-obligation consultation.
There we go. So that was whittled down from 7 minutes to 3. It's not too bad. I normally do about 1.5 the length of the actual script. I don't know if that is good, but yeah, normally I can do the script length times half again, and that's normally it that I need to work with to whittle down. But yeah, plus it's my first time live streaming this, so I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Right. There we go, so we get rid of that noise. Actually, I'll show you.
For a free, no-obligation consultation.
So if you could hear that in the background. And then if I take this out, it will then remove that same sound from the parts with the speaking over. So
Planning Limited for a free, no-obligation consultation.
And hopefully you would have heard that. That's a little bit clearer. We're hitting the hay soon, buddy. Keep it up, dude. Your voice. Excellent. Thanks, dude. So that's it.
Consultation. No obligation consultation.
There you go. No obligation consultation. But there is that little bit there. That's my
obligation consultation.
There we go. Make that sound a little bit better. So yeah. And this is the first job for this guy as well. So hopefully he will like it. I normally export as WAV as well, as standard. Other people on Fiverr, they do MP3, and then you pay extra for the high quality. So I don't know if I'm actually doing myself out of something there, but I need to have a look at myself again. But anyway, I think that was it. So I think if you're the only one, I will catch you later on. Cheers for that, Gibbo, and I will catch you soon, buddy. That one was an hour. It shouldn't have actually taken an hour, but oh well. Well, I'm going to carry on with some more, and I might do a couple of the amendments for this story as well. There we go, Keyman. Yeah, my computer is not set up for this sort of thing. Not responding. So probably not any games anytime soon, unless you want something like Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, I could try Sonic the Hedgehog. I've not actually played yeah, Sonic Mania. Yeah, I had that. I got it the day it came out, and I've not played it yet. Right, so MP3. I have 16-bit. There we go. And then with something like this as well, just to speed things up a bit, got VO delivered. And record Fiverr. La 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 la. Where's he gone? Keyman J, pensions. Well, that's trying to upload at the moment. And And there we go. Deliver work. So that's one down. Right, Chambay. I've got that one to do next. Chambay. So yeah. And I think I'll stop that stream then. I think that was a good hour, and it was a good starter. So, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and, well, I'll do another one soon, doing actual horror story, creepypasta maybe. I might do something tomorrow as a sort of a Halloween-y thing. I don't know. But, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!